Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano. I've got lightsabers in my hands. We are at Galaxy's Edge in front of Savi's workshop, and you might notice I've got a special guest.
How's it going?
We've got Sir James from Gamerfuzion, and he's going to be helping me talk about specifically elemental nature. So here at Savi's workshop, what do we do?
Here at Savi's workshop, you are gathering scrap metal to form, aka lightsabers.
Lightsabers. So there's different themes you can choose. There's 4 different ones, and in this video series, we're going to be going through each theme in depth. So today, like I said, we're going to be doing elemental nature. On your channel, we're going to be doing protection and defense.
Correct.
So make sure you subscribe, go over to his channel, watch both of our videos. I am being stared down by Vimerati so hard right now.
It's the first order to be around.
I'm sorry, I'll keep it quiet.
What do you have to Yeah, Dad, why is the first order here?
We're on the same team. We are.
You sure?
We are.
Where's this transmission going to? Come on, Dan. What's
Wow,
going on?
I got.
You know, you might want to get Chewy over here.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on him. No problem. Only on the Dan channel.
I really wish I could have shown you guys all of this.
I wasn't expecting that.
That was amazing. That's the beauty of Galaxy's Edge.
I was gonna record it, but I was like, she might not trust me too.
So, back to the scrap metal. At Savi's, we build lightsabers. We've got 4 different themes: elemental nature, protection and defense, peace and justice, and power and control. And each of them have different sets of pieces. And let's go over what our piece options are first off. So when you're building a lightsaber, what we start with, the emitter, right?
Yeah.
So each tray that you get when you're inside building, you'll have a choice of 2 different emitters.
Correct. 2 emitters.
2 emitters. Next up, you've got 4 different sleeves. What else? We got button covers or switches.
Yeah, the activation plate.
Yeah, the activation for them.
So you have 2 of those options.
2, yeah, just 2 to choose from. And then 2 of the pommels.
Yep, 2 pommels, and they either have the cover tech or they will have a D-ring.
Ah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Because if you want to buy one of these things, this is a belt clip, and it has an option for a D-ring. And these are sold at Doc Ondar's, which is not far, but you can basically loop it in through the belt clip or use the D-ring. It works both ways. They're $17.99.
Now there's one thing to note, that for each of the different lightsabers, not all of them have the cover tech or D-ring available. For example, here from the protection and defense, this one only has the cover tech availability.
So both options are the cover tech wheel. There's no D-ring at all.
Correct.
So yeah, good to know, good to know. Now in this one, elemental nature, it's really, I mean, it's as it sounds, elemental nature. So we've got stuff like Cartusion Whale Bone, Brylark Wood, what's Rancor Tooth pommels. Honestly, it was my first choice. When I built multiples of these so far, and today at Doc Ondar's, just to confirm it, I went and just bought scrap metal pieces on their own for $19.99 per piece. So I was able to complete my collection.
That's the other thing I like too, is that even though you spent $215,
$199 for the initial build, but you get a show, a pin, a whole experience. But if you don't want to spend that $200 again, you can spend just $100, 5 other pieces, so 5 times 20, you guys do the math, and you end up with a full set, which is what I've done here.
I'm still bummed out that we don't at least get some of the extra scrap metal.
That's true. Like in the initial purchase, you mean?
Yeah.
Like with the $200? Yeah, there's a lot of people who feel
either
that same way.
or a better bag, one of those 2 options I would prefer.
You know what? You're right. That's actually one of the other things I didn't mention. They come with a bag, but the bags, how do you feel about the bag? I want to know your thoughts first.
The bag is okay. I feel like it's the weakest as far as quality goes, but it's to serve its purpose as a, you know, basically your...
While you're in the land, it's a nice way to carry it. You look cool, it looks good, it's got the Savi's logo on it.
Obviously, it's not something I would trust if I was going to maybe take it on a plane. I would rather get something at Doc Ondar's that's a lot more padding, and it's a canvas material.
Now, the problem I had with my bag is it started to like shed.
Oh yeah, mine's shedding
So
too.
just keep that in mind. The bag isn't the best quality. It will shed a little bit. So just so you know what you're getting into. But today we're going to be taking a look at all of these pieces. Let's start with the emitters. So the first, actually, let's kind of look at really the style.
Should I hold that one for you?
Yeah, if you want to hold that one for me, that'd be great.
Drop it.
That'd be great. So I've kind of split them up by what I thought matched. And the first one that I've got has mostly the Brylark Wood on it. So the actual emitter, it's got this like neat filigree, kind of like winding, I don't know what you would call that, almost looks like vines. Like the metalwork kind of looks like vines, got a little pointy,
like a little artistic feel to it.
Yeah, it's like kind of an artisan handcrafted vibe to it. And then there's the wood. The thing you should know about the quality of this, it's not real wood. It's rubbery. If you like put your fingernail to it, you can feel it. It's got a rubber kind of feel to it.
That would be cool though if it was real wood.
It would be cool. It'd probably be a little more prone to breaking though. I think that's why maybe they went with rubber.
Yeah,
or maybe it gives you a good grip though. That's the nice part.
The way I see it though, because the Star Wars community is big, I see someone possibly removing it and actually adding real.
Oh yeah, you know some people. Not only are they going to do stuff like that, but they're going to like measure out these threads, and they're going to make their own custom pieces.
Yeah, we're going to see custom pieces.
It's only a matter of time at this point. So with the wood though, I mean, how do you feel about it being rubber? Do you like that? Do you?
Let me have a feel.
Yeah, give it a feel.
You know, it doesn't feel too bad. There is a little bit of a texture to it. And even if you were to add maybe a little bit of paint as well, you could probably make it pop out a lot more as far as the material goes.
That's true. You could customize it a little bit further. One of the next pieces I've got on this one is the little switch, the button cover. And one thing I want to point out, and I'll show you guys some close-ups of it, you can probably see it there. This is 4 weeks old at this point, and the paint is starting to chip. I can touch it now and make it worse. I just made it worse, literally, by rubbing it. So, overall, like the quality on these isn't as good as other themes, is my initial assessment. Mostly because that paint, I don't have to do much and it'll just come off. So
yeah,
that's something to keep in mind before you make this choice. The next piece, or the next sleeve I've got is more wood. It's more wood with metal. Now again, I mentioned this in my full review of Savi's lightsabers. The insides have a plastic core. But it's like a thick plastic. It's not cheap plastic. It almost reminds me of like a playground, like thick, dense material. Have you ever seen like those? I don't know the best way to describe it, but
yeah, it's mostly there as just like a structural base.
Yeah.
So that way, when you're adding the elements to it, everything holds together.
And it's super sturdy. Like I said, it's very, very dense, thick plastic. I know a lot of people are not happy that it's plastic.
I know,
but it would weigh it down so much more.
I know one thing that does somewhat concern me, but I think it'll be a while before it happens, is as you know in the centerpiece where you put the kyber crystal, it has a spring mechanism there, so I'm
you think
kind
that
of
might wear out over time?
Yeah, as
That's
time
good to
goes
know.
on. But you know, then again, I don't know what kind of quality spring that they're using, but it seems really strong at the moment, so I mean it does take a little effort to
Yeah,
put the crystal
only
there.
time will tell on that one. Who knows if a year or so the crystals will just fall out. Good point. So, but this next piece, I actually really like this piece a lot. I just picked this up today. You can see it's got kind of like different, it almost looks like a maze. It reminds me of a maze. And I think that's really cool. Now, the last piece I've got on here is going to be the little pommel. It's got a D-ring on it. I like it. I like it. And notice there are holes because that's where the sound comes from. Not only is that where the sound comes from, but that's where the batteries are located as well.
Which uses 3 AAA batteries.
3 AAA.
Which of course are supplied when you do pick it up, but of course if you want a recommendation, use some of your better known batteries.
There you go. You do need a screwdriver, right? You got to loosen one screw in order to get to the batteries.
The screw doesn't come off all the way. You just loosen the screw and then you'll be able to remove the cap.
There you go. But pretty easy to change the batteries. Overall, I like the kind of filigree thing, whatever they got going here. It's interesting that it's on the emitter, the sleeve, the switch, and the pommel. And there's not really like another sleeve to match it.
Correct.
So you can kind of just slip in whatever you want for the third one if you don't want it fully matching. But in your hands, you've got all the rest of the pieces.
So here is the second option. So, and I will say though, for this particular one, I like all the pieces here except there's only one that I would change, but we'll get to that part afterwards.
Okay.
So here is your second option when it comes to all your individual pieces. So just like before, you get 5 main parts. You also get the chassis, you get kyber crystal, you also get a 31-inch blade. So here is the emitter, which I don't know, kind of reminds me a little bit of a sprinkler head somewhat.
I love that emitter.
Yeah,
Actually, that was my first choice for emitter out of all of the
You know,
themes.
now looking at this emitter and looking at that one, it's like, I like this one because it's got the design going on, and I like having the designs match, but then also looking at this one, it's like...
It's cool, it's unique, it's like an interesting looking design.
And then this one, what was the name of it?
Cartusion Whale Bone.
Cartusion Whale Bone.
Now the interesting thing about this one is when you're in line back here at Savi's, they have these little cards, these cardboard cards that show you all the pieces, so you have an idea before you pick your theme. The picture for the Cartusion Whale Bone, it looks like leopard print. I don't know why it looks like leopard print. It does not look like bone.
Now, also too, if you can't get a visual with the cards, they actually have drawers back there, which you could open up, and then you'll actually be able to physically see what the pieces will look like. So if you can't tell from paper, you'll still be able to get a physical representation while you're here. And of course, we also have the emitter switch. This one's a lot different because yours. How's this one work?
This one slides up.
All right, it's just a little black switch. All right. So this one's a much thicker switch, which some people like, some people don't. I actually like this because that has these guards here. Because I know on mine,
it's got a good like thumb feel, right?
Yeah. And what I like about this one too with the guards here is that you don't accidentally.
So that's a problem I've had with other ones. Other themes, I've too easily been able to just turn it on.
Especially
that's a really good point.
Especially with my theme that I got, like I'll twirl the saber around next thing, I'm accidentally deactivating it. It's it gets a little bit of annoyance. So I do like this one that has the extra protection there, so you're not accidentally flipping that switch.
And the way it's kind of indented, the design on there, seems like it goes with this piece, this sleeve, a little bit better.
Yeah. And of course, we also have this version. This is the part that I like from this particular grip. So, like as I was saying, I like this overall design, but if there's one thing I would have changed, it would be this bottom piece with this one.
You know what? I just picked this up today, so this one's actually very fresh to me. It also has that same rubbery feel. It's not real leather. It has the same rubbery feel as the bone. That's one thing we didn't mention about the bone. It's not hard. It's not hard plastic. It's got the same rubbery feel that the wood does. So you can kind of see it there, get a little texture. If not, I'll put some close-ups up there. But the leather wrapping, I actually really like. I think that's pretty cool. It's going to be one of my favorite pieces out of all of them.
It was actually one of the pieces of scrap metal that I wanted to get for my belt, because I was like, I think this is going to look cool with my particular belt, even though mine's not an elemental nature, which is what I like about the extra scrap metal. And then, of course, we also have the Rancor Teeth.
Yep. Now, that's the first thing that caught my eye when I saw him reveal these at Star Wars Celebration. I saw the Rancor Tooth, and I said, that's what I'm getting first.
And of course, here you actually have opening slots for the audio.
Yep. Now, how do you feel about it being plastic? This actually is a hard plastic on that Rancor Tooth. What are your feelings on that?
Like, I could see why for cost reasons for Disney, but at the same time, it would have been cool if they could somehow make it actual close to bone material as possible.
Right.
With a tooth.
Like, honest opinion, it's a little bit disappointing. I still think it's really cool looking. They did a decent job with the gradient on the paint there, but the quality of the plastic, given how heavy these are, this alone is probably, 3 pounds at least, like 2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah,
leaning closer to 3.
When I first picked these, when I first built one, I was like, holy crap, it's like, this is actually a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be.
The only thing I don't like about that plastic tooth is I worry if you were to drop it that side down, would it break and crack that? That's a legit concern that I have with them.
Based on the thickness in here, it looks like that would be a cause
That's
for
something
concern.
to worry about.
Now, I think probably one of the coolest things you can do for anyone that's good with painting is repainting this tooth to make it look like an actual real tooth.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool idea.
I can't wait to see what the community does, though, with that.
They're going to do some cool stuff. You know it. So, now you've had some other pieces. You have your own build. Most of you have protection and defense. Any other themes that you have already?
No, protection and defense is the only theme I have right now.
Okay.
I did have already plans on building a elemental nature. As I said, it would be this particular build, except instead of this piece, it would be the leather wrap.
That's a good idea. Now, compared to your protection and defense, how do you feel about the pieces in this theme? Do they stack? If you like that one better? Do you like these a little more?
Well, for
just
me,
themes.
For the themes, for me personally, first, of course, would be the protection and defense, just because it's kind of like a little personal favorite.
Okay.
But if I were to choose a second one, like what would be the second best option besides that one? Easily the elemental nature for sure.
And is that because it looks cool? Because the quality is good?
I like it because based on the actual pieces. For me, when it comes to the other choices, like the Peace and Justice and then Power Control, those are your kind of basic ones that we've seen between like the heroes and villains. By having something completely different that we haven't already seen or not too much of, I think just kind of stands out above the other ones.
So it's like a cool factor, right? It's a cool factor. So I feel the same way. It's cool, and it looks like it's just unique. It's different, something we haven't really seen before. But as far as quality goes, I feel that this theme is the lowest quality of the 4. Now, I say that. The only caveat is I have not actually made a power and control at this point.
Yeah, and I think the reason why, too, for the quality is because, you know, unlike the other ones where they're mostly a metal component, this one has a lot more like rubber type material added to it.
Exactly.
And so, which is why a lot of people may look at this particular kind of belt and say, oh, that looks like a plastic saber.
Yeah, and some of the comments I've seen initially were, oh, they look cheap. Too bad they look so cheap. I don't think they look cheap. When you have it in your hand, it does not feel cheap by any stretch.
Oh, yeah.
But of all 4 themes, I will agree and say this is the cheapest looking one of the 4. But I don't want anybody to be deterred from making this because it has that cool factor.
Yeah.
It has that unique, interesting pieces that we haven't seen anywhere
cool
else.
Factor way up there. As quality build goes, again, not everyone will probably be too happy with the rubberized material on most of the components.
There's definitely something to be desired.
It's kind of like
still
they're each
cool.
their own type thing.
Yeah. So guys, we've gone over all the pieces. I want to know your thoughts. Is this one that you were thinking of? I hope I didn't turn you away from it because like I said, if you want to build this theme, build this theme. It is amazing. It looks really cool. They look good with all the different colors. I went with green in my first build. They're just, and you get the option of either a D-ring or the cover tech, which not all the themes do, so to me that's a plus as well. But again, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Use the force on that bell. That way you get notified every time I drop a brand new video. And you gotta go over to Sir James' channel. You gotta go over there. You gotta subscribe because we're gonna be doing the protection and defense over there, so you don't wanna miss that video. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. You know I love you, and until next time, may the force have with you. Goodbye forever.
Click the card on the right side of your screen to go over to Sir James from Gamerfuzion's video where he'll be looking at protection and defense. Make sure you're subscribed here on the Danny channel so you don't miss all the other breakdowns of the lightsaber themes from Savi's workshop. I'm loving Galaxy's Edge so much, and I hope you are too. Till the spire.
You.
Bye. Forever.